We act by the consent of the governed, sir.
Some people just like to go to court. Here are 10 dubious lawsuits against food brands that will blow your mind. Starbucks and too much ice.
5 more minutes. I was just getting comfortable.
One of the most ridiculous lawsuits against a food brand is one about ice. Yes, ice. A California man named Alexander Foruzes sued the largest coffee chain in the world, Starbucks, for too much ice in his iced drink. The plaintiff wasn't happy that his iced drink came with more ice than his actual coffee. His claim was that Starbucks was using less liquid than advertised. A judge quickly dismissed the case, stating that Starbucks clearly states that it uses fluid ounces, and any reasonable customer would understand this. The drink-to-ice ratio meets consumer standards, and the fluid ounces are a measurement of the drink's volume, not of its contents. When all was said and done, the California judge pointed out that an iced drink typically comes with ice, and even children should know this. Starbucks also let everyone know that their iced drink cups are clear to see how much ice is included, and orders can be made with more or less ice if desired. If there's too much ice in your cup, simply ask the barista to prepare it with less ice. If Alexander's case wasn't crazy enough, during the same year, a Chicago resident filed her own 29-page complaint about cup-to-ice ratios and how iced drinks cost more than hot ones.
Keep the change.
Stacy Pincus's case was soon crushed, just like the ice in her drinks. Krispy Kreme and no actual fruit.
Is that the last donut with red, white, and blue sprinkles?
Eating fruit on a daily basis is good for your health, and one Los Angeles man wanted to fill his fruit needs with Krispy Kreme donuts. And who wouldn't? But after looking at the ingredients, Jason Sadian noticed that his favorite sweet treats, like the chocolate-iced raspberry-filled donut or glazed blueberry cake donut, didn't contain any actual fruit. Sadian also stated that the maple products, like the maple bar and maple glazed donuts, didn't contain any actual maple ingredients. The Los Angeles man was outraged and quickly filed a lawsuit against Krispy Kreme, declaring false advertising concerning the maple glazed donuts and the fruit-filled donuts. The plaintiff asked for an enormous sum of $5 million in damages for being lied to about the fruit and fillings. His reasoning was that he was paying for a premium product and it should include real ingredients. Sadian tried to win his case by researching the ingredients in each donut and tried to point out to the court that while Krispy Kreme did mention ingredients like real lemon juice in the glazed lemon donut, for example, it still wasn't real fruit. Well, Jason Sadian's hard work didn't pay off. He eventually lost interest in the case, and the lawsuit was eventually voluntarily dismissed. Kraft and the cooking time.
I'm totally on your side with the whole microwave situation.
Thank you.
We all have busy lives and want things done quickly. So when Florida woman Amanda Ramirez purchased her single-serving microwavable Kraft Velveeta macaroni and cheese, she expected it to take 3.5 minutes to cook, just like it said on the side of the container, and not 1 second longer. However, Ramirez was disappointed to learn that it took a few minutes more to prepare her Velveeta shells and cheese in a cup, hence wasting her precious time. After this disappointing meal preparation, the Floridian woman took her concerns to court, filing a $5 million class action lawsuit against the Kraft Heinz Foods Company for false advertising and misleading instructions. Ramirez's lawyers compiled a case stating that taking the single-serving cup out of the cupboard, removing the lid, adding the sauce and water, microwaving the pasta, and stirring it all took longer than the advertised 3.5-minute cooking time Kraft wrote on the packaging. All these additional steps were just too much for Amanda Ramirez. Kraft Heinz Food Company immediately rebutted that the lawsuit was frivolous and that they would strongly defend their company against the allegations. In addition to the ridiculous cooking time lawsuit, Ramirez's lawyers are also arguing about the price of the premium product. The plaintiff would not have paid a higher price for a product from a brand she trusted, knowing that they were lying to her about the actual cooking time. No word yet on the results of this one. First time here? Then become an official BabbleTopper by hitting that subscribe button. Thanks. Houston's Restaurant and the Artichoke.
Can we please just eat, huh? How about that?
We've all been eating since we were babies, but apparently some adults still need help, including a doctor from Miami, Florida, who had a bad experience eating an artichoke at a Houston's restaurant. When Dr. Arturo Carvajal ordered the grilled artichokes, he immediately dug into the delicious dish and ate everything, including the leaves and stem. Soon after, the Floridian started having pains in his abdomen and was admitted to the hospital. After his surgery, Carvajal filed a lawsuit against Houston's restaurant for pain and suffering and for not explaining how to properly eat the artichoke when it was served to him. The restaurant's vice president was saddened by Carvajal's visit to the hospital, but also went on to mention that his lawsuit is a silly notion. And what's next? Will they have to start instructing their customers not to eat the bones from their ribs? Jimmy John's and no sprouts.
Everything tastes good when you're starving.
How far would you go for sprouts? On Valentine's Day, one lady got her heart broken by Jimmy John's sandwich shop. So California resident Heather Starks took it as far as it would go. She wanted her sprouts, and when she went to pick up her Jimmy John's order, Heather quickly realized that there were no sprouts in her sandwich, despite there being sprouts in the picture on the menu both online and in the physical location. A reasonable person would have asked to add the sprouts to the sandwich, but not Heather. This Californian resident left Jimmy John's and proceeded to file a national class action lawsuit against the sandwich shop for false advertising. 7 different claims were opened, from intentional and negligent misrepresentation to fraud. Fortunately, the unbelievable case was quickly settled. Starks received $5,000 to atone for the missing sprouts, $385,000 for administrative fees and attorneys, and Jimmy John's also gave out over $1,000 in vouchers to other customers that complained about the missing sprouts in their sandwiches. When the settlement was resolved, Jimmy John's also offered a free coupon on their website and as a paper handout in their restaurants for a free side as an apology. To this day, Jimmy John's checks every new advertising image closely and will be sure not to advertise anything in their sandwiches that's not there, especially sprouts. Subway and the sandwich size.
Is that chicken?
Yep.
Does size really matter? Matt Corby, an Australian teen who knew his measurements, noticed that his Subway sandwich was a little smaller than a foot long. He posted a picture on Facebook stating that the largest fast food sandwich chain in the world was intentionally shorting their sandwich size. The picture of his foot-long sandwich next to a measuring tape didn't add up. It soon went viral and caught the attention of several disappointed customers. Various lawsuits were joined together to file a complaint against Subway for false advertising. Stephen DeNittis, the lawyer handling the New Jersey suit, personally traveled to 17 shops to measure the famous sandwiches and quickly realized that none met the 12 inches that they were supposed to be. DeNittis pointed out that even if it's half an inch, this adds up. With over 35,000 stores worldwide, Subway is getting the long end of the stick, or sandwich. The cases against the sandwich sizes lasted for years. Subway even ignored DeNittis' calls at first and replied with a comment on the posted photo, stating that the bread was not baked to their standards and that they have policies in place to ensure every sandwich is consistent. They basically brushed off the comment about the actual size of the sandwich. Eventually, Subway agreed to award $500 to each plaintiff involved in the lawsuit. McDonald's and the napkins.
You're eating a hand towel.
When you're the largest fast food chain in the world, you need to expect complaints. McDonald's has seen their fair share of unsatisfied or picky customers over the years, but Webster Lucas, 59, from Pacoima, California, takes the cake. Lucas, a regular McDonald's customer, says he suffered mental anguish when he couldn't properly wash his hands because an employee didn't give him what he asked for. The Californian resident says that he asked for napkins, plural with an S, and only received a single napkin to wipe his dirty hands. Lucas stated that the manager mumbled a few words with a nasty attitude when Webster explained to him that he would need to wipe his hands on his shirt and wouldn't be able to clean his table with a single napkin. This crazy altercation resulted in Lucas going to the Los Angeles Superior Court and filing a claim against the burger giant. Webster went as far as to say that the encounter left him in so much turmoil that he couldn't go to work the next day. Lucas tried to sue McDonald's for $1.5 million, but the company replied saying that they had made every effort to satisfy him as a customer and no lawsuit went to court. Over the years, Lucas has tried to sue other big companies like Walmart and Denny's, but each case was dismissed because he would not hire a lawyer and wanted to represent himself. Popeyes and the Spork.
Guess some people just don't appreciate really good food.
Fast food is usually eaten with our hands, but sometimes you do need a fork and knife. As we've all probably experienced, the plastic utensils found at most fast food joints are flimsy and can easily break when trying to cut food. Paul Newton Jr. from Mississippi says his life was put in danger when he tried to eat his chicken with the plastic spork he was given. The popular chicken franchise did not give him a knife when he went through the drive-thru, only a spork. Without a knife to cut his food, Newton was forced to pierce his chicken with the spork and hold it up in his hand while trying to tear it apart with his teeth. The uncut bites caused the Mississippian man to choke on his chicken. A lawsuit was opened after Newton recovered from the incident. According to the documents, Newton had to get surgery to remove the chicken that was stuck in his throat, and he's now asking for compensation and punitive damages. The Mississippian man also demanded that Popeyes include knives with every drive-thru order. A former Popeyes employee told news station WLOX that the lawsuit is very confusing. He stated, "If you're choking on your food, it's not because you had to eat it off a spork. It's most likely because you were eating your chicken too fast. Maybe that person should slow down when he eats. Nobody eats fried chicken with a fork and knife." McDonald's and the Happy Meal toys.
What do you want?
I told you, I want to play a game.
A man in Quebec was not so happy about McDonald's Happy Meal toys. While waiting in line at McDonald's, you might have noticed the toy display showing off the collectible toys available in the Happy Meals. These displays are usually at eye level to your child and show off new toys or small books from popular movies and cartoons. If you go to McDonald's with your kids, you're surely going to start hearing some begging from your little ones. To complete the set, it will require numerous visits to McDonald's during a small period of time while the collectibles are still available. A man named Antonio Bramante from Quebec, Canada, decided that enough was enough. He estimated having spent hundreds of dollars on individually packed Happy Meal toys. He filed an advertising class action lawsuit against the behemoth food brand, arguing the questionable tactics to force parents to buy the collectible Happy Meal toys. To be fair, Canada does have a law against advertising to children under the age of 13, and Bramante claimed that McDonald's was not respecting this rule. A settlement was reached 2 years later. McDonald's agreed to pay $1 million to 4 different foundations in Quebec that help children in need. McDonald's was also required to make small changes in their Happy Meal toy advertising, like removing any interactive displays and using images of the collectibles instead of the actual toy. Burger King and overpriced drinks.
This will take like 50 trips.
A penny saved is a penny earned, and one woman in New York took that well-known Benjamin Franklin quote very seriously. This lawsuit against Burger King will make any cheapskate proud and any reasonable person cringe. Big chain restaurants try to have continuity between their locations, but some variables may require higher menu prices to stay afloat. Real estate values, taxes, local labor laws, and supply and demand can cause prices to vary from one outlet to another. Have you ever noticed a higher bill for the same meal in a different town at the same restaurant chain? This is why. A woman from Manhattan, New York was furious that she would need to walk 2 extra blocks to save 20 cents on her large Coke at Burger King. She could get one for 89 cents at the Burger King near her home, or would need to walk or drive a few minutes away to pay 69 cents. She really wanted to save that extra 20 cents. The frugal woman tried her luck and sued Burger King for $100 as compensation for the extra distance she needed to go. Burger King kept their crown and won the case. We're serving up more great videos. Just tap or click, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.